What's up guys, and welcome to my review of this, the Marantz Melody Stream. Now this unit is a all-in-one hi-fi unit that's aimed at audiophiles who want great sound quality without having to resort to other big units or definitely big separates. So the whole concept is that you can get everything you need in one small compact unit while still maintaining that great audiophile quality. But has it actually managed to achieve that? Well, the unit itself certainly comes well equipped. You need to connect it via either Wi-Fi or Ethernet. I have used Wi-Fi for this and it hasn't had a single dropout when connected to a 5 GHz AC connection, which is pretty fantastic. Obviously it wouldn't be very good if it did, but I have no concerns in recommending using it over Wi-Fi if that's what you want to do. Of course, Ethernet will always be the better option, but it is very well equipped. You've got internet radio, you've got 2 USB ports, one on the front, one at the back. The one on the front will charge your device if that's what you want to do. If you want to step it up and you want to start streaming your media from a NAS or a computer, then you can use Apple AirPlay, and you can also use DNLA streaming. So pretty much if you want to stream from a hard drive or computer somewhere else, you will be able to do that. The unit also has Last.fm and Spotify integration. However, to use the Spotify you will need a Spotify premium account. And if you just want to use it as a standard amplifier, then you can also plug stuff in via the standard auxiliary in, and you've got one of those for both digital and standard analog connections. Now the unit itself is probably about the size of your average clothing catalogue. On the front we've got two of these sort of 5-way buttons. One is just to control the unit and browse through menus. The other one has stuff like play, pause and skip on it. And then we've also got the input selector on the front, as well as the power button right in the middle, a 3.5mm headphone jack and the front USB port. And that is the one that will charge your device, so if you come home and you want to stick some music on from your iPod and you're not streaming it, then you can just plug that straight in and away you go. On the back we've got our power in, we've got our Ethernet connection, and of course we've got our speaker connections. You can either use a banana plug or just standard loose wire connection. We've also got the analog in and the digital in. We've got the wireless WPS button. And last and of course not least, we've also actually got a subwoofer port. So if you want to plug a subwoofer in, then you can do that. I haven't done that here just because I feel I've got good enough speakers. But if you do want to add a bit more bass into your system, then of course you're more than welcome to use the supplied port. Now this unit is the smaller brother of the Marantz Melody Media. And that is 200-ish pounds more expensive. And for that you get arguably a higher quality DAC, so maybe better sound quality. I haven't actually listened to that one myself, but the main thing is that you get a DAB radio and a high quality CD player all integrated. And to be honest, I can't really see the point for either of those. If you want to listen to a CD, then you're much better off burning it as either an ALAC or flat file and then streaming the unit through this. Of course, if you want to use a CD player, then you can plug one in via either digital or analog or auxiliary. So if you do want to listen to a CD, then you still can. Whether it's worth paying an extra £220 for two things you might not necessarily use, that's obviously the decision you're going to have to make. But if you do want to look at the Marantz Melody Media, that has been highly recommended by Watt Hi-Fi. Now to test the unit, I've been using two Castle Durham speakers. They're kind of high-end speakers, they're pretty nice, I like them anyway. I've been connecting to the internet using Wi-Fi. Like I say, there hasn't been any dropouts. I've been using both the AirPlay streaming and the streaming from a NAS I've got upstairs with both ALACs, MP3s and FLAC files. So I've pretty much given this unit a run for its money. How did it perform? Well, pretty much no piece of technology is perfect, but this one is pretty damn close. You pay a reasonable amount of money at about £250 and you get a unit that has all the features you need without anything that you don't. The only thing on it that I don't use is the Last.fm support, and everything else sounds brilliant, is easy to use, and yeah, it's pretty near perfect. The sound quality is brilliant. It's got two 60-watt channels so it can go really loud, and it does this with a minimal amount of distortion. The audio, like I said, without a subwoofer, still delivers on bass. Obviously it does depend on your speakers you've got, but for the speakers I've got, I think the audio is really fantastic. It's really nice and rich and detailed in all the right levels, and while I will go out and say that I'm not the biggest audiophile out there, I am absolutely just blown away with how good this thing sounds, especially for something this small and something that's priced at about £250. It is really fantastic. You do need to hear it to believe it. Setting up the unit was incredibly simple. I haven't really done an installation that was this simple in a long time. Literally just grab it out of the box, plug it in, plug in your Ethernet cable if you're using Ethernet, or just tap the WPS Wi-Fi connect button and then run upstairs to your router and press the same button on your router, and then it will pair up and then you're literally ready to go. You can adjust a couple of speaker settings if you want, but for the purpose of this I kind of just left it as it was, and then you literally are free to do whatever you want. You can start streaming straight away. It discovered my DNLA server no problem, AirPlay worked out of the box, literally everything was pretty flawless. I did do the software update which said it updated stability, but I didn't really notice a problem before. Using the unit is incredibly easy. The remote is so well laid out. There's not really anything about the remote that I don't like, but it's a pretty basic remote. You can add stuff into your favourites, and then you just need to click the call button and then tap on the button below and it will take you to that favourite. So it's not just radio stations that you can add to your favourites, pretty much anything you want. One thing you can't add to your favourites was slightly frustrating, was there's folders on my NAS. One of them contains FLAC files, so I wanted to add the folder called FLACs to my favourites. Unfortunately I couldn't add that folder, but you can add individual songs or playlists. So it's not the end of the world, but that was pretty much one of the very few problems that I had with the unit. Now you can also use your phone or your tablet using your iOS or Android device to control it. So here we've just got all the options, so favourites, internet radio, music server, everything that you can access with the remote you can access through this, and it's arguably easier to use this because of course you can select songs without having to be near the unit, without having to look at this fairly tiny screen. The LED screen is pretty easy to read if you're close enough, but it's quite a small screen, so you sometimes might find it difficult, especially if your eyesight isn't the best. So the phone or your tablet is the best way of doing it. However, it can be a bit sluggish, and there were a couple of times that it wouldn't actually sort of even find the unit. Using the volume buttons and stuff like that is very responsive. It's just a shame that going through your music server isn't as quick as I would like it to be, and I know it can be quicker than this because other hi-fi equipment in the house has better apps basically. It's not a huge flaw, and it doesn't really detract overall from how good this unit is and how easy it is to use. Now this unit supports pretty much every type of codec you can find, the main ones being ALAC, which is the Apple Lossless Audio Codec, and FLAC, which is Free Lossless Audio Codec. You can use WAVs if you want, but they are going to take up more room and it doesn't hold as much data, so you want to be using FLAC or you want to be using ALAC. Pretty much it's a case of use ALAC if you're using an Apple device, or if you're using Android devices you should be using FLACs. It's a good thing that it supports both though, so if you have multiple devices in your house, so say your wife has an iPhone and you have an Android phone or whatever, it's good that you can support both. The AirPlay streaming is great because it means that you can stream from two different devices in the house at the same time, so you can have this unit like I do here on playing so the same thing, and then the same thing coming out of another set of speakers with another Apple AirPlay enabled device. To do this though you do need to use a computer. If you want to stream stuff straight from your phone, then you can do that with both AirPlay and the DNLA. Just download a standard app on your phone, the Marantz app, and then you can just stream it away, and it's really easy to do that. For the best audio quality though, you do want to get CDs and you do want to burn them onto your computer using the FLAC or ALAC formats. Yes, they do take up more room, but if you want to get rid of all the CDs in your house while maintaining the quality, that is the only way you're going to be able to do that. By having the Marantz Melody stream rather than the Marantz Melody media, the main way to capitalise and save all that money without having lost anything is to use the uncompressed codecs. So that is the main thing I would say if you're interested in getting this unit. Make sure you are at least starting to burn your stuff in FLACs or ALACs, as they do sound fantastic through this unit. And that pretty much wraps up the end of this review. It's very easy to use, it sounds brilliant, it's very small and it looks good. It has got a few scratches on the top already, I've noticed. Obviously it's quite prone to that, but it's not really the sort of unit where that's going to be an issue. The main thing is that anyone tech savvy can use this unit without having to, read a book. It's very easy to use, and even someone who doesn't have a smartphone will be able to get around fairly easily with the standard remote. From a unit of this size, I don't think there's anything I would want more, to be honest, from it. Maybe free Spotify streaming, but that's Spotify's end rather than this end. Now, this channel isn't an audiophile channel. It doesn't review loads of different hi-fi and AV kits. So as much as I would like to give this an Editor's Choice Award, I don't really think that would hold much value. But if you are even considering this unit, honestly, I am absolutely blown away at how good a value it is for what comes out the other end. It is genuinely absolutely fantastic, and if you pair it with a decent set of speakers, you're going to be in for a treat. Of course, the main downside with something like this over something like the Melody Media is that if your internet goes out in the house, then you can't really do much with it. You can only listen to something via the auxiliary ports or the USB ports. That's not a massive deal, to be honest, because the amount of times that's going to happen is very rare, but it is definitely something to note. If I have missed anything out, then feel free to leave a comment below and ask me any questions. I'll be monitoring this video for quite a few years to come, I'm sure, so if you do have any questions about it, leave them in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching this video. It's great to have you here. I hope this review has been useful. Hit the like button if you think it's been useful. Hit the dislike button if you don't think he knows anything about this stuff. Why is he here? You know, just get rid of it. Fair enough. I'm glad you made it through to the end of the video, but feel free to let me know that you didn't like it. Other than that, subscribe to PC Centric for more videos like this and other technology related videos, as well as PC and gaming videos as well. If you are interested in whether this is actually going to be usable in your PC, I would say the best thing actually that you could use this unit for, if you're, I don't know, having the ultimate gaming setup in your room or something like that, is if you use this as your alarm clock, you can also feed in via digital optical from your computer, and then you're going to be getting pretty much ultimate audio quality whilst having an alarm clock. How about that? Thank you very much, like I say, for watching this video though, and I will definitely see you next time.